guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to beginner TIG weld aluminum. I have been in the beginner phase for like 5 years. I have not progressed to the intermediate at all. Check this out, I'm gonna show you what I do, which is not real good most of the time. And when you're doing any type of welding, is you need to be able to see what you're doing. So if you notice, there's an extra lens down in there, and that's a magnifier because I'm old and I can't see real good. Make sure you got a good helmet where you're able to really see. The machine that we're going to be using that Brian has over here at the shop is a Miller. Basically, you can do stainless steel or you can do aluminum, and it's just a matter of pushing the button, and then you got your power. This is the diversion 180. So this is the power. It'll go up to 180 amps, and it will go all the way down to 10 amps. So you can weld a very wide range of material. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be welding a downpipe and some other aluminum for the cold side on a race car. So you can see he's got everything marked. Wall thickness of this pipe is about 90 thousandths thick. This is a nice seam. So what we'll do is we're gonna go, I'm gonna tack it up real good first, and then I'll go clean it, and then we'll make sure everything fits good. Generally it's about 1 amp per wall thickness, so 90 amps. I'm gonna put that there, and then we're gonna try this. Let's see what happens. This is gonna stop. So again, I'm no expert, but the power is controlled by the foot pedal. And so you start hitting this stuff with your amperage, and then you'll start seeing the aluminum start to get a little white, and then eventually get shiny and melted. That's when you put your rod in. Filler rod must be melted by the base metal and not the torch. That's kind of the way I do it. I don't know if that's exactly right. The weld doesn't exactly turn out beautiful for me, but it works. If your amperage is too high or you stay in one spot too long, you will blow a hole in the base metal, and then you have a hole you have to fill. So you have to move fairly fast. But the good thing is you have the control of the power in your foot on the pedal. Ease off. So this is what happens when you dab the tungsten into the aluminum. It is not good. It sucks it all up in there. So when that happens, the best thing, you got to stop. That will not weld at all. So you got to come to a grinder. There's a couple different ways to do it. I don't have a machine. I do it by hand. Probably not the best thing. Grinding all the aluminum off of it. See, now I'm down to some good sparks. So then I always point it like this, and then if you aim it up, you want to put a slight point. And now, for me, this will weld. Not the best, not most ideal, probably, but it'll work. So now we're down to bare tungsten again. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so these turned out okay. There again, my welding is not the best, but it is stuck together reasonably good. My best welds are on the bottom down there, as usual. So this is a 5-inch aluminum downpipe. So my welding on this one, moving forward, hitting it with some heat, and then dropping the rod in it, and then moving back is kind of what I'm trying to do. I don't know if that's the most accurate way or not, but it seems to work okay, reasonably decent. Got to get it nice and clean. Use a stainless steel brush when you're cleaning it, and make sure that stainless steel brush is only used for aluminum to get that oxide off, and try not to dip the tungsten in it. So we got a couple more, we're going to have a couple more pipes we're going to weld up. I'll show you those two. And one of the things, you can really see it in this camera with the lens on it. I am pulsing the pedal, the foot pedal, the controller. It's still set on 90 amps, and I hit it to the floor right there when it gets bright. And then when it eases back off, I let off about half, and then that's when I move it back. So pulsing the pedal is hugely important if you don't have a machine that pulses for you. A lot of the newer higher-end machines, they do the pulsing for you, and you set it up so that it automatically does a pulse, so it's like a rhythm for you. The only thing I can really say is practice, practice, practice. We've been doing it. I've been messing with it for a while. I'm getting a little better, but I'm still really inconsistent. But you know, it's one of those things. We got a machine. We're learning. It's getting better. Okay, so we got done with this one. Got like one more joint. You can see it's not great, but there's a couple spots that are decent. There's some spots that look like total butt. I'm sure the ones that'll be up are the ones that are going to look like total butt, but that's okay. That's just the way we roll. But for the most part, it'll stick together. It's one of those things. I mean, it just is what it is. I suck at welding. Getting better, but we just don't do it enough. I might have to go back over this little spot right here and get that cleaned out. That's where I touched down the tungsten earlier, so I need to clean it real good and hit it back with some more power. But overall, not too bad. If you want dimes, you ain't getting them here. If you want stacks of dimes, you got to go to the bank. Some of these welds are pretty doggone decent, but some of them are not. And it's got to do with the cleanliness of the pipe. It's got to do with, you know, the thickness of the rod that I'm using. It's got to do with how good it is fitted up, how much space there is. I'm sure, that doesn't look terrible. That's going to be the way it is. So that's not terrible. And that's what you notice. We got two different thicknesses of rod. So here's one of the key things is when you have a different thickness of rod, you can see one is really thick, one's thin. One is a 16th and the other one is a 3/32. And the pipe's got to get hotter for the bigger one to melt. It puts down more material, but it's a crapshoot. You got to figure out which one exactly you need, because if you get this too hot, it'll start blowing it out, and then the rod, won't be able to feel it. It takes a lot of temperature to melt the thicker welding rod, so you got to be careful. Okay, so that turned out pretty good. You see it's got the aluminum downpipe. And is that 3 or 3.5 inch pipe? 3.5. 3.5 inch cold side pipe. Turned out pretty decent, not bad. Looks pretty decent. The welds are not great. The fitment, Brian did an excellent job laying this out. But my welding, like I said, is able to stick it together. I got some good welds, some not so good welds. Most of the not so good ones are, of course, up top where you can see. But that's how you TIG weld. That's how you become a beginner TIG welder. I'm a beginner TIG welder. Beginner. Maybe at some point I will make it to intermediate. All right, y'all comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all soon. Thanks.